the thing.
Let's go. Let's go. Dude, you had one job. Let's go.
Action. This is TennisWerx coming to you live. Hi.
What up?
Hi. So the first question that I wanted to ask you is, since starting to get some help with getting better with money and understanding how money works, how has that impacted your business and your personal life?
Well, number one is peace of mind, you know. Knowing that, you know, I got a little bit of a nest egg when I get older. I mean, first of all, I plan on working till the day I'm dead, you know.
Because you're that awesome.
It's so true. on the work as hard as I can forever. Just, you know, but in the back of my mind, I mean, the body doesn't last till the end of time,
right.
You know, otherwise we would carry on and on and on. So I wanted to just kind of put some money away and just communicating with you and knowing that, you know, I'm going to get a certain amount of money at a certain age. And realistically, it didn't seem to me like it cost that much to me, you know. It just makes me feel a lot better. Because I felt like I was just going into a lot of risk. And it just feels like a lot of the risk has, you know, settled.
Very, very cool. Yeah, it was exciting to get to sit with you and teach you a little bit more about how money works and, you know, bringing some things to light that, you know, I could tell it's most people, right, don't know how money works. And so we go out, we not realizing that we're making a lot of mistakes. And then, you know, 10, 20, 30 years rolls by and it's the coulda, shoulda, wouldas that end up happening when it's a little too late.
Yeah, and that time does roll by fast.
Yeah.
It's fast.
It's kind of weird how that works.
Yeah.
The older you get, the faster it goes.
I don't miss the money. I don't miss the money at all. It's, you know, I mean, you didn't hear me say this, but I probably could invest it probably 3 times as much, you know, because I just don't miss the money.
Yeah.
And to know that that money will be there later in a bigger fashion, it's going to be exciting because I never think about it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's really going to be surprising when I'm able to cash in on that later.
Yeah. Do you feel like once things were kind of clarified and you understood a little bit more about how your money should be working for you, do you feel like once you started making that commitment to, you know, what you're putting towards your future, do you feel like it was very easy after that, or did you struggle with it?
No, I didn't struggle with it one bit. But I mean, you know, maybe that's just my own persona,
Yeah.
right? But it actually made me want to work harder. It made me want to work harder because it made me want to invest more. It also just made me want to work harder because I knew that there was an absence of some money, right? But really, it did. Maybe it's because I'm investing with you too. And you know, the funny thing is this: money is such a it's a come and go game.
Mm-hmm.
I want to play the game of what if and what's going to be there in the future.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't, I don't care. I would want to play the game.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah.
It sure beats the game of, I don't know, go buy a new fancy tuxedo. Yeah.
Yeah. That kind of brought me to something else I wanted to ask. What impact do you feel like, you know, especially because you're so in tune with a lot of the families, you know a lot of them pretty personally too, and you're a pretty aware person. Like, what kind of impact do you feel like not understanding how money works is having on families and in America today?
You know, I know that it's, people aren't communicating enough about it in general.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, now with social media, there's a lot more communication on what's going on. But I'm surprised because, you know, a lot of my friends that I end up sending over to you, I'm like, whoa, I'm surprised that person didn't already have a little bit of a long-term investment, like nest egg.
It's a wake-up call, right?
Yeah, and like, I'm like, whoa, this person was way more mature than me. You know, because it is a mature move, you know? I mean, to look out for your future it makes sense. Every day I go to work, I'm going to work for my future.
Right.
You know, every day I go to work, I'm going to work for to invest in the future of the kids and the parents in my program.
Right.
Well, why wouldn't I do that with my money?
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely.
So.
But it's a graduated state of mind, right? It's like you have to have the epiphany first, and you have to have somebody that you can sit down with, that you can trust, who, you know, where they can command your attention to have you look at something, maybe disturb you a little bit, for you to be able to see that maybe you don't know as much as you thought you did. And I feel like that's really where a lot of people are today, is that they're either being given wrong information, or they've been taken down a different path thinking that this is the right thing because the people that they looked up to maybe earlier in life told them that this was a good idea. But things change, you know, and money's changed a lot over time. And I feel like that's the weak point that a lot of people have. It's just like me personally. I thought I had everything set up, you know, until I realized that, you know, the banks are leading you one direction, right? They don't want us to know what's up. They don't want us to know how money is supposed to work for us. And we kind of get kept in that like cycle of generational poverty because of the lack of communication and a true understanding, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I was waiting for a friend to come along to help me invest. You know, I would always talk to my friends that were investors,
Right.
and I was actually surprised at what my friends who are investors, what they didn't know.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, I got some money to invest, and they didn't even know where to put my money.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's nice to have someone who has the know-how. You gave me a lot of options, but it's funny, even though I wasn't super hatted, meaning in high knowingness about where I wanted to put my money, as soon as you explained it, I knew exactly where I wanted to put my money.
Yeah.
Thank God you came along when you did to help me invest that money. And how I had extra money, I'm not even really sure. Maybe perfect timing.
Yeah.
But it was
Yeah.
nice because, you know, I've known you for a long time, and to know that you could help me with the money, and then when you broke it down how it works. I mean, it's not anything I didn't know.
Yeah.
But you had to let me know that I did know what I knew, and then I went ahead and followed through with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a comforting place.
Yeah.
Even my mom, when my mom knows that I got money invested in my future, it makes her more comfortable.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
That's got to be a big win too. Like I've
Yeah.
talked to even my own kids. You know, they have their own little investments that are started, and my stepdaughter's mom knows that, and it's helped encourage her at the same time. So it's kind of a ripple effect, really.
Yeah.
You know, but it all starts with just, you know, trusting somebody and sitting down and going over the basics, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, and I have the same feeling. Cookie Dough, my assistant, who's been my assistant for, it's amazing. She's 21 and she's been my assistant for 5 years. But she has her little child, and you know, they've invested with you.
Yeah.
And did they even make an investment for their child too?
They're actually in the process of doing that.
Yeah,
You know,
so-
Cookie's she's been a client of mine since she was 18.
Yeah, it's amazing, right?
Yeah.
To know that. That's probably one of the things I'm most proud of, and I've taught her so much.
Yeah.
But that's probably one of the things, because I didn't get to do that. She gets to invest her money at such a young age,
Yeah.
and she gets a 30-year head start on me.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, man. And when you're understanding a little bit on how the rule of 72 works and compound interest, it's a pretty big blow, but that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, we're getting you caught up, and you know, you've been helping me be able to reach out to more people where we can give them a head start and get them going early on to make sure that the other side of their future is taken care of, not just building them to leaders, right?
Yeah, if you're gonna make money, you might as well make more money.
Yep, exactly. Make the money on your money. So
Hey, Autumn, I noticed there's been a difference in you recently, like legitimately.
yeah.
Yeah. What do you think it is, the thing that's putting, I've noticed a calmness, and overall general happiness. I also noticed that it seems like you're spending more time with your family from what I can see.
Yeah.
What do you think is causing that?
Oh my God. It's not even a think. It's just you know, I'll be 42 tomorrow, and I've been working since I was 13. And the majority of my time has been in, you know, 9-to-5 type situations, or, you know, in the food and beverage industry. And I started to notice it was fine when I was younger, right? Not a big deal, not a lot of responsibility, but I have 2 children now. I have a 12-year-old, I have a 7-year-old, and I started noticing that I was starting to fall into the same habits and routines that my mom did. My mom worked 2 jobs, not a whole lot of help, and it was hard. She sacrificed a lot of time with us, and while the time spent was high quality, she and I both have regrets, that we didn't get to do more things together and, have more experiences, and there was like a lot of stress involved, and I started feeling like I was falling more into that, several years ago, and missing things with my kids and their soccer games, and being tired all the time, or worried about money, or things like that, or wondering like if I was being the best parent I could be. And I had this epiphany about 4 years ago. I remember where I was at this time. I was managing a fine dining restaurant out on the strip, and I asked myself, I'm like, what are you doing? I'd been going on 4 hours of sleep a night for days on end. I was averaging 6 days a week, 10 to 12 hours, 16 hours a day. And I felt miserable. I felt hollow. I felt empty. I was feeling resentful. So, there's a lot of negative emotions that have been building up, and I was realizing this is not who I am, right?
Yeah.
So I ended up making a decision to start moving into another direction where, the most important things to me, right, was, okay, if I can have like a couple of goals laid out for myself: freedom of time, time with my family, and no glass ceiling.
Oh, nice.
I was a price had been put on my worth. And I made the decision to move into a new venture. Ended up going into the money world and the education world. Who would have thought? I would have never thought in a million years I'd do that. But even my friends now, it's so funny that you're saying what you're saying, because my friends now from my old life tell me that I look 10 years younger.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're like, well, why are you so happy? I notice you're so happy and you're so calm. There's no stress. You have a lot of free time. And it was making a decision, and it was a little bit of a risk. And I'm sure as an entrepreneur yourself, you understand the risk that's there. Moving into kind of the unknown. But moving into the industry that I've come into with the support that I have, and the flexibility and the leadership, really. It's been a leadership experience on another level that's allowed me to really personally develop myself, and it's like living a dream come true.
Yeah. Well, your 3 goals were pretty awesome. You just raised my goal level. Because for some reason I had a little glass ceiling on my own.
Yeah.
So that's good. It's awesome that you were able to do that. You know. As far as being an entrepreneur, what do you think is the biggest win that you've got out of being an entrepreneur?
I have grown so much as an individual and as a leader, and I have tapped into parts of myself and abilities that I had kind of been drugged down and brainwashed into thinking I didn't have.
Oh, yeah.
And it's so regaining those abilities that had been long forgotten over time was the biggest for me. That's
awesome. Not to necessarily interject mine into you, but I've been an entrepreneur pretty much almost my whole life, and so many people come in and they don't understand entrepreneurship because they just haven't done it.
Right.
The only reason I know anything about it is because I've done it, and now as you do it, you get to know about it. And it's not just the freedom, but it's the fun of commanding your own ship.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
And I'm guessing in the industry, right, that you're in, anybody could take a look at it. Yeah. Anybody could take a look at it.
I knew nothing about the industry, but yes, I truly believe that anybody could, and there's so much potential to take it any way that you want to on any level, and it doesn't require previous experience. I think that's really what makes our company different than a lot of others, is that we can take an average person that just has some big dreams or some goals or
some communication skills,
some basic communication skills, who have like understand, that saving money is important, and do genuinely care for other people. And we can take somebody with just a basic skill set like that, and be able to help build them into an incredible leader with incredible potential to be able to help other people and be able to create an even more incredible income.
And this is kind of like along the same lines, but it's like sometimes when people, they don't realize that when you get into, like in my business, I try to teach my coaches every last single thing I know. Like I don't even give them a choice. I'm like, this is how we do every single item. There's so many people that want to help.
Right.
There's so many people.
It's a passion, right?
Yeah,
That you
like, what would be the point of me doing well? What would be the point of me doing well and surviving if I wasn't able to, like, hand out that information to the next person? All successful people know your success is not going to harm my success. There are so many people out there to help.
Yeah.
And I mean, that is, I'm guessing with you in entrepreneurship, that's the best part, is we get to help people, right?
Oh my gosh, you hit the nail on the head with that, because this success breeds success. And being in the industry that I'm in now, I'm surrounded by people that have built massive businesses that came from nothing, that have they broke their glass ceiling, they make multiple 6 or 7 figures. And I noticed that in a point in their journey, now all they want to do is give back, right? They go into more like the philanthropy side of things or the coaching side of things, and that really becomes their life's passion and their mission is to pour into other people. And that is just so uncommon in the employee world. You don't get that anywhere else.
Yeah, agreed. Well, I can tell you this much. The money that I've invested in you and knowing where it's going and how it's building, it makes me feel very comfortable.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. That means that I have gotten a valuable final product.
I realize I don't tell enough of my friends about you. That's a fact.
I'm right here.
All right, good.
Okay.
All right, good.
Nice work, guys.
Yeah, we'll see you later.
Professionals, like you've done this before.
We just click well. Hello, Bonnie and Clyde, yo. My dude right here.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing what we pull out of it.
Yeah.
What up?
Action, Jackson.
What are we closest to? We're closest to, like, I'm trying to think. Batman, Robin, Thelma and Louise.
Like those 2 crazy people
Bonnie
from
and
that.
Clyde.
Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
No,
There's no camera.
no monkey business.
No monkey business, mister.
You're gonna do
The thing.
Let's go. Let's go. Dude, you had one job.
You said I was in charge of the behind the scenes film.
Ready? Let's go.
Action.
Thank you, sir.